All right, once again, I gave myself a little more time this time, so I do, but the movie's about to start. I just went to a really long line at the concession stand, and there is a lot to go through before I even make it to my review of this movie. Hey, I am here to see Nope and Black Phone. Just a little information for you guys. Jordan Peele and me do not have a really good relationship. Here's a guy that went from predominantly comedic writing to writing his own feature film, a horror film, and it was a movie called Get Out. Do you remember Get Out? And I was all into this movie. That movie seemed to have some kind of social political message to it, and because it was slightly abstract and it was slightly silly in its plot, I still forgave it because of the message that it had. It was something to do with maybe the continuation of slavery. Maybe it was the subjugation of the African American in our country, in our society. But either than that, we move on to his next movie, which was Us. And Us was basically it was everybody had their own doppelganger that were living in this subterranean facility, and they were eating rabbits, and it was just everybody had their own bizarro. And I'm sorry, no matter what the message was in that movie, it was stupid. It was stupid. I hated that movie. Everybody loved that movie. Everybody loves Jordan Peele. I do not like him. I kind of divorced myself from him because just like I have other Christopher Nolan, his movies are way too complicated, or even M. Night puts out really bad movies. So I kind of divorced myself from Jordan Peele. Now, why am I here watching Nope right now? Why is this so? Well, that is the second half of this conversation. We are basically looking at, I love 1950s science fiction. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And I've seen a lot of the movies more than once, multiple times. And when it comes down to it, I was reading an article about Nope, and it said something about how it's largely based on a movie called It Came from Space, or It Came from Outer Space. Simply one of my favorite movies. That and Invasion of the Body Snatchers are bar none my two favorite movies from that era. I love those movies. So if this movie is truly based on that, I had to see it. That was my rushed way of saying tonight's movie is going to be Nope. I'm going to go ahead and see that. I'm going to watch it now. It has already started, so I got to get going. I'll be back in just a few seconds to let you know what I think about Nope. All right. See you later. Bye. Well, I just got done watching Nope. Whoever wrote that article. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure that Jordan Peele was correctly quoted in saying that It Came from Outer Space was he was greatly inspired by that movie to make this movie. I'm sure that was the case, but this movie had nothing to do with that movie at all. There were no similarities whatsoever, except that it dealt with extraterrestrials. This movie was very slow. So if you're still interested in seeing this movie, here's the thing. This movie, I think it got an 80% on the Rotten Tomato meter. If you're interested in seeing this movie, I would not stop you from doing that, but I'd like to issue a few warnings. It is a slow burn. It is there's very little that happens in this movie, and it all leads up to that very little bit. So you got a lot of tension and a lot of suspense that's building throughout this whole quiet, very uneventful movie. That's it. That is it. That's exactly what this movie is about. This movie is just fragments of glimpses of this alien ship. that is not exactly what it would seem to be. And I'm not going to give away any of the premise. I want you to go ahead and find out what the story is about for yourself. To be honest with you, I was not extremely happy with the reveal at all. It was not that satisfying. I didn't find it all that fun of a mystery of a reveal. Here's the pluses of this movie. Here's the pluses. I did enjoy the performances. I thought the performances were good, and some of the imagery that they used was really good. They had kind of like a subplot where one of the main characters started in a sitcom, and that sitcom was shut down during the early portion of its second season because it was based around a chimp, and the chimp went nuts. And they gave a scene to that particular part of this portion of that story, and it was chilling. It was very chilling to see this ape just go ham wild, and you didn't see it directly, but you saw the effects of it, and it was, like I said, it was very chilling. It was very, very eerie and very gripping. That was the best part of this movie. The rest of it was kind of boring. Even the alien, its design wasn't all that great. The reveal wasn't all that great. I didn't have a fun time with this movie. Was it the worst movie in the world? No, not in the least. It did have its merits, and I did enjoy myself to a certain extent. But I enjoyed myself, but only to a certain extent. I would give this movie a 65%. It was just too slow, and just, here's the thing. I'm okay with slow movies. I'm okay with the slow burn. I really like slow burns. I think slow burns are worth the effort if by the end of the movie you know exactly what's going on and you have that payoff. Didn't happen here. It did not happen here. You got a story. You got the beginning, middle, and end, and you have the conclusion of that story. But you still didn't learn anything about its antagonist, what its motivations were, what it was doing, what it was there for. Well, I mean, you do have a general idea, but you didn't get, you maybe got like 15% of that story. And that's the story I really wanted to see. I didn't want to see the suspense. I didn't want to see the story about these horse wranglers and their ranch. Although it was a well-written, well-acted story, that's not the story I wanted to see. I wanted to see a extraterrestrial story, and that's not what we got. We did get that, but we never learned anything about the aliens at all. Hands down, it was just kind of frustrating. So there you go. 65% is the best I'm going to give this movie because it was a total slow burn with little payoff. I'm going to be moving on. We're moving on to, what is it, Black Phone? Black Phone's coming on. It's the Ethan Hawke movie. I knew absolutely nothing about it, and that's the way I like it. I like to be surprised. Let's hope that we have a pleasant surprise here. This one also graded high in the Rotten Tomatoes. I forget what the exact score was. Let's hope it's a movie for me. All right, so in just a few seconds, I'll be right back to let you know what I think about Black Phone. All right, see you in a little bit. Bye.
5 minutes to go.
Dude, let's talk about this movie. Finally, we get a good movie, a really good movie that I can obsess about. This movie was awesome. Let's just set up the premise, shall we? I mean, it's a pretty simple premise until you get to the end. It's about this guy. He's been nicknamed the Grabber. He's been kidnapping kids in the same neighborhood for an unknown amount of time, but he's grabbed like 5 or 6 of these kids. So we get to see the story of the end kid, the last kid that he kidnaps. And he is sequestered. He's put into this basement room that's been soundproof. and it's got this like phone in it that's been disconnected. And when the big bad guy, the grabber, leaves the kid alone, the phone has a very odd, peculiar habit of ringing, even though it's not connected. Once he picks it up, the first few times he picked it up, no answer. After a while, there was somebody on the other end of that line. You soon learn that it's the voices of the victims that this guy has killed. Totally a great premise, right? A great basis for a great story. Am I correct about this? Here's a little known fact that you guys may want to know. It's written by Joe Hill. Joe Hill has been, he has made his name over at DC Comics. He's even been given a little corner of his own, they call like a horror imprint. He has been given, he's been writing some really good horror stories over at DC. If you don't know who Joe Hill is, it's simple to sum up. And not to take away any of his credit, because the kid is becoming a really good horror writer, and the stories that he's been telling has been top notch. So when I say this, I mean it in the lightest way possible. I don't want to take any credit away from him, but he is the son of Stephen King. So like that apple totally did not fall far from the tree. He is a master craftsman when it comes to stories. Now, it was based on a short story, so there was somebody that fleshed out the story. And I didn't see the credits, but let's just go ahead and give them a silent credit right now, or they, or the team, or whoever punched up made this a feature-length story. But they did an excellent job at writing. It had a very solid base for its premise, but it would totally have flopped, just like the last movie, if it wasn't for the excellent direction and the excellent acting in it. The kid actors were great, but the person that shined, the person that was even better than our main character, was Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke played the grabber, and he played it super creepy, and it was super cool. Super cool. So, like, to further along the plot, this kid is constantly listening to the phone and getting more and more ideas on how to get out of this room. And that's about the only thing I'm going to tell you, because this is a really excellent story to have that unfold in front of you and watch and kind of revel in its genius. It was a awesome film. It was well directed, well acted. I liked every single character. We established in the very beginning of the movie that the kid's father, the kid and his sister were being tormented by his father. But we soon learned and sympathize with why. I guess what was going on. This family is. It seems like they're supernaturally sensitive. They're sensitive to supernatural material. The sister has like these dreams, these prophetic dreams, and the boy, it was told to on the phone as he was talking to these dead kids that he's the only one, except for the grabber himself, that's been able to hear anything on his phone. So they're both supernaturally sensitive, and that just adds to the plot. The plot of this was simplistic, but very rich in detail as well. I loved this movie, and I'm giving it a definite 100%. Guys, seriously, this movie's been out for a while. In fact, it's a second movie, so it's a second movie for a reason. It's here to be that filler, to give you a second movie to watch, but it's a second run movie for sure. So please don't waste any time. Go out and see this movie. It's a definite must-see in the theaters, and we need to support quality movies like this so we get more quality movies in the future. The reason why we continue to get Fast and the Furious movies is because they make money. The reason why we still continually get Sony-driven Spider-Man universe movies is because they make money. They make a ton of money, and these studios would be stupid not to follow that trail. But at the same time, if we stopped patronizing these people, if we stopped giving them money, giving them the reason to make more of these shitty movies, then we would get more quality movies like this. please, I'm begging you, just do yourself a favor and go see this movie. Well, all right, that's it. That's my rant. That's my soapbox. But let's just go ahead and recap. We had Nope. Nope was just a little too vague for my taste. You never got to the feeling with what was exactly going on, and it was kind of frustrating how vague it was at the very end. It was just, it left on a very empty note, and I did not like it. What did I give it? Oh, I gave it a 65. Yeah, it had some good concepts. Those good concepts are worth watching, but as a whole, that movie was not worth watching, and I would totally watch it on a rental. Whereas Black Phone was a total hit, a knock out of the park. It was a home run with the bases loaded. This movie was what horror movies are made for. This is what summer is made for, is these summer movies right here. That Black Phone movie was a definite slow, low-budget movie that was a must-see. Please do yourself a favor. I'm repeating myself, but for good reason. This is a great movie, and we need to patronize it. All right, so that's it, guys. 65 for Nope, and 100% for Black Phone. That's my time at the movies. I enjoyed being here tonight. I kind of dragged myself to it. I almost skipped out on it, but I'm really glad that I went to see the Black Phone movie. Nope, I could have done without. That's it, guys. That's my time at the movie theater. Hey, I enjoyed talking to you. And as always, I would like to end my video by wishing everybody peace. Peace, please. Be kind to yourself and to other people. Montane, I'll talk to you guys later, and goodbye.